Alright y'all, so I'm going to make a video right here on my current concealed carry. We have the Springfield Hellcat Pro. We got the Smith & Wesson M&P Shield Plus. And we've got the Springfield Ronin 9mm there. And I really like all of these so far. Each one of them has something different that I like. This Shield Plus is the Performance Center. You can see these are pretty close to the same size. This is a little bit bigger, but I think that's an Armsman holster if I remember right. And that's a T-Rex sidecar. And I've just got a crossbreed hybrid holster for that. Alright, got you flipped around here now. So on either one of these, all of them are good choices, and I don't think there's really any wrong answers. It just depends on what suits you the best. I do believe that the Hellcat Pro here is probably the best for the money. These have been safety checked. The trigger is pretty decent on it. It could be improved, but it's pretty good. I like the sights on it. Not to be pointing it at myself. I like that big U cutout and that green, yeah, it's like a white outline, yellow outline maybe with a green dot, but that is a night sight. And all these have been safety checked. This one is cut for red dot. Trigger is pretty good. Got a little bit of take up there. Really kind of in the wrong position to do it this way. But yeah, it's got a little take up there, as you can see, and then pretty crisp brake. I don't have a gauge or anything. I just go by feel, but it's a good feeling trigger. It's a touch bit heavier than the rest. It's got a good reset right there. Good trigger. I like it. This is one of my favorite guns to carry because of the size of it and all of the features. It comes with two 15-round mags. So that's one thing that I like that I don't like as much on the Shield Plus. So this, it does have a rail on the bottom, which I like, so you can throw a light on there. I like a light for several reasons. You know, a lot of times if you're going to have a problem, it's going to be at night. So a light's a good thing to have. You know, certain tactical situations that you wouldn't want to use a light. Another thing is if you have to press right up in against somebody, that light's going to hold it off a little bit so it doesn't kick your slide back where the gun won't go off. So there's a lot of advantages to that. And like I said, I believe this is an Armsman holster. When I first got this and the light and all, there wasn't a lot of options for light bearing, but this is a good holster. I like the metal clips on it. They hold up. I don't know if you can see, but they've got a very big metal piece on the inside that hooks around your belt. So you really have to pull it way out to get it off your belt. Still holding pretty good tension, and it is cut for the red dot if you put one on there. So next it's going to be Shield Plus, and this one, I can't remember the specs, but this one does have a little bit longer barrel. I think it's 3.5, maybe 4-inch barrel, but a lot of the Shield and Shield Plus, I believe, stop right about right there. It's got good sights on it. They're not night sights, but they are fiber optic, so you can see them real good. and is cut for red dot and all. It does have an indicator hole there. If you got a round in there, you can see it pretty easy. It's got the, you know, blade style trigger there. Got a little bit of take up, but being the performance center, it really has a smooth trigger. It's one of my favorite parts of this gun, is the trigger. A little bit of take up, got a little creep there, then just barely pull it. It's very, very smooth. Resets right there, real close. Very smooth trigger. Now, this comes with 2 mags. One is a 13, and then there's a 10 flush fitting. I usually use the 13 because you really only have a little bit extra sticking there, and then you get a full grip on there. Versus the flush 10, maybe if you've got smaller hands, it's kind of almost enough, but just not quite. So for no more difference than that is, I'd rather have the 3 extra rounds and the full grip. So size wise, as you can see, like I said, back to back, the barrel's a little bit longer than the Hellcat Pro. And let's see, side profile, it's about the same. The Hellcat Pro has just a little bit more hanging down on the side profile. So when you put the 13 round mag in, they're pretty much identical, because the Hellcat has the 15 flush fitting, and they're pretty much identical with that 15 flush fitting mag and the 13 on the M&P Plus, Shield Plus here. So that's why I like to just run the 13 round when I use it. This one, I really like this gun. This is my newest one to me, and it's just hard to beat a 1911. And this is a 1911 profile. This is 9mm, and it is slimmed down. It's not as wide. It's a 4 or 4 1/4 barrel, commander size they call it. Not a lot of bells and whistles. It is a 2-tone finish, but doesn't have any front serrations there. It does have a fiber optic front sight, and then just your 2 white dot back sights. It's a real good, comfortable fit, and it comes with 10 round magazines. 1 magazine, I might add, and then 1 inside, so you'll have 10 plus 1. But this is not as practical as the other guns are. I think this was $850 out of the door for the deal I got. I believe the performance center here, I really can't remember what I get for this. I know it was like $900, $950, something like that a couple years ago. But it did come, I can't remember the name of it, but it did have a red dot on it, RMR, red dot sight. I can't remember what sight I had, what model and everything that came with it. So it was a pretty good deal having everything together like that. Like I said, that performance center trigger is really smooth, really hard to beat. And I think the Hellcat Pro was around, I want to say 600, something like that, for the money. And if I was only going to have one of these, I do like the Hellcat Pro the best all around, like I said, with the sights and features and, you know, size profile. Like I said, 2 15 round mags. You know, you basically got a slim down Glock 19. But again, 1911. I'm not sure the specs on this, but it's not super heavy. I don't know if this is maybe an aluminum or something to cut down on weight, but it's got a real good balance, real good profile here. It's got a good trigger. It doesn't have an adjustable trigger. It is what it is. So you got just a little bit of take up right there, a little bit. Then you get to the wall and just smooth pull through. Then we got a reset right there, kind of audible. You can hear it click, but you have to listen for it. But smooth pull. I like that. And I do like the fact of the 1911 style of being able to carry it cocked and locked. You know, having a couple of extra safety features there for one thing. And for another thing, I like that smooth trigger pull. I can shoot this gun pretty good. I haven't put a lot of rounds through it yet to really get used to it. But out of these three, I can shoot the Shield Plus Performance Center and this Ronin the best, because you know, they do have a bit better trigger than this, but I can still do fine with that. May not be a nail driver, but I can still do pretty good with it. But like I said, the Hellcat Pro and the Shield Plus is a lot more concealable, as you can kind of see here. I don't really have the best setup to show you every technical thing. Not a lot of difference in the barrel, but there is a lot of difference down here on the grip profile. I'd say that's probably about a ½ an inch more hanging down on this. And like I said, with this being the frame, you get a good grip, but there's no way to slim that down, versus the barrel is pretty much identical on the Shield Plus. Like I said, I do believe it's like a 4-inch barrel, but your side profile is a lot different. We put 13 in. We're not looking at a lot of difference, but there is some. But if you do put that flush fit in, you're going to get a lot more concealability out of the Shield Plus. All right, so that's my 3 that I have in rotation right now. Really, I don't carry the Shield Plus a lot. My main 2 is the Hellcat Pro and the Ronin that I just got. And this one is really my favorite so far. Like I said, it might not be the most practical, but you know, this is my favorite to carry right now. So there's that. Hopefully it might be interesting to you. Hopefully it might have helped you a little bit if you're thinking about any of those, or you know, maybe getting your first concealed pistol. Again, if I was going to pick one for a just to have one, or if you're a beginner, I think the Hellcat Pro is a good way to go. You know, for a lot of different reasons, and especially if it's going to be your first concealed, having a little bit of heavier trigger, it might not make you as accurate in the beginning until you get used to it. But maybe in a tense situation, a heavier trigger will make you more aware that you're pulling the trigger, versus a hair trigger, you can pull it before you mean to. So anyway, there's that. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.